On April 21st, 1961, Victor Charles played the role of Cladder Lamont in the television program Michel Shane, titled The Trouble with Ernie. The producer was Anthony Ellis. 7 days later, Victor Charles was in the television program Harrigan and Son, titled The Case of the Missing Case. His role was Dr. Blaine, and it was released on April 28, 1961. Within a week, Victor Charles was in Harrigan and Son again on May 5, 1961, titled Hands is Hot. And on May 14, 1961, Victor Charles's agent, Jerry Rosen, recruited him to read at the Valley City's Jewish Community Center in a play titled Exodus. Soon thereafter, Victor Charles was in another sea hunt on July 29, 1961, titled The Saint Story, and playing in the role of Dr. Tank Wallace. The executive producer was Ivan Torres. Once again, Victor Charles performs as Dr. Blaine in the television program Harrigan and Son, titled The Testimony, on September 29, 1961. On October 6, 1961, Victor Charles was in the television program Target, The Corruptors, titled Pier 60. His role was Winston Preston Manners, and it was produced by Leonard Ackerman. The motion picture, Judgment at Nuremberg, hit the silver screens on December 18, 1961, and starring the golden cast of Spencer Tracy, Burt Lancaster, Judy Garland, and Richard Widmark. Victor Charles had the opportunity to rub shoulders with this classic group of actors, even though he only played the role of a courtroom spectator without any dialogue, and he was listed as uncredited, with his name not showing. It was directed and produced by Stanley Kramer. The last television motion picture and stage performance in 1961 for Victor Charles was 77 Sunset Strip, titled Bullet for Santa, on December 22, 1961. His role was Charlie Case, and the executive producer was William T. Orr. From December 29, 1959, when Victor Charles was first seen performing in a television program, he had performed in a total of 29 television programs and 2 motion pictures by the end of 1961. He was only 22 years old, and he was still living at 3266 Bayside Walk with his mother Myrtle Bell Buono, Tony Edwards, and his younger brother David Francis. My father, Sonny, was now a narcotic detective with the San Diego County Sheriff Department, and he was 33 years old at the end of 1961. When looking back at my father's choices in life, there was a similarity between him and his stepfather, Victor Francis. Victor Francis was 34 years old when he first became a San Diego police officer and later became a vice squad officer. In looking back, my father mirrored Victor Francis's steps in life more than he would have ever thought before. At the end of 1961, I wonder if Victor Charles thought about his acting in television and Hollywood. Did he think he would only be a television actor? His work in television paid his bills for him, but he wasn't earning the wages of a motion picture star. Did he think he would be living in San Diego for the rest of his life and having to commute back and forth to Hollywood? In 1962, all these questions would be answered, and he soon would be seeing the chance of a lifetime when whatever happened to baby Jane came knocking on his door. The year of 1962 started off just like the last 2 years, with him acting in the television program The New Breed, titled Cross the Little Line. He played the role of Manerick, and the executive producer was Quinn Martin. Victor Charles was now 23 years old and was still living near South Mission Beach, and he was earning a living as a television actor. He probably thought producers might grow tired and bored of hearing his voice and looking at his face. If you noticed when reading the newspaper clippings of his last 30 television programs, you hardly saw his name in print. He still wasn't a big name to most people when sitting around their kitchen tables in the morning. On January 18, 1962, he played in the role of Parnese in the television program The Untouchables, titled The Gang War. The executive producer was Alan Armour. Victor Charles landed the role of Alexander in the television program Perry Mason, titled The Case of the Absent Artist, on March 17, 1962. The executive producer was Gail Patrick Jackson. Once again, Victor Charles returned to one of his first television programs that started his Hollywood career in 77 Sunset Strip, titled The Disappearance. He played the role of Stannison, and the executive producer was, yes, it was William T. Orr on April 27, 1962. We have to remember, Victor Charles was taught in the classic words and storylines of William Shakespeare. The words and emotions he exuded to audiences were greatly profound and deeply meaningful. The vast number of television programs he had already performed didn't come close to the genius of William Shakespeare's plays. I've always noticed the tone and cadence Victor Charles spoke in every television role he played. He always spoke with a Shakespearean tone and manner, much like Sir John Falstaff from Shakespeare's classic Henry IV, Part 1. This is partly why he was quite unique, because most of the other leading and supporting actors never spoke with that Shakespearean accent when playing a character. With the facial expressions Granny Grunts had taught him as a young boy, and his reciting poetry of words of Shakespeare taught to him by Father John R. Ahern, he was forged into becoming a classic actor. But unfortunately, he had to speak the words of the numbed-brained television scripts in order to make a living.